Hello everyone, welcome back to car project tutorial videos. In today's video we'll be creating the car body. So I actually have the pictures on my desktop. I just created a folder called car body pictures and I just grabbed the files from the M drive. But you can go on M drives and there should be a folder in your ENR 153 folder that has all the car body pictures. So let's set up our power file. So if I go to File, SolidWorks. So before you do that, we'll be utilizing our power surfacing tool. So if you go to Tools, Add-ins, I just have my power surfacing add-in. So if it's unchecked, then just go to Tools, Add-ins, and check that. You can have it load with the startup, but you don't need it. It takes a bit to load up, so I would just go in and add it when you need it. Hit OK. And it takes a bit to load that tool in. Okay, we're all set. So let's go ahead and create a new part file. File, new, it's going to be a part file. Click OK. And our file is going to be in inches. So you can change the decimal points, but you don't really need to for this part. So I'm just going to go ahead and save as. Just going to save it on my desktop. So car project. I'm just going to create a new folder called car body. I'm just going to name this file car body. Hit save. Okay. So I'm just going to set up my parameters before I start. So I know my chassis is 8 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to go to my top plane. I'm going to start a sketch. So I'm going to again start with a center rectangle. We've done this a bunch of times, so you should be very familiar with the process. I'm going to fully define that sketch. So I know my length is 8 inches. And my width is 4 inches. Actually, what I want to do, I want to make that box for construction. It's basically just a parameter of where I want to locate my car. So let's go ahead. So before I do that, actually, I'm going to create some center lines. Go through middle. Going to create another vertical center line. Just to use it to align the other pictures from the front and right plane. So we'll utilize that later. I'm going to go to File. So at this point, I have my parameters ready. I'm just going to go in and insert the first picture, which is my top picture. So I'm going to go to Tools, Sketch Tools, and go to and click on Sketch Picture. So what this command lets you do is basically import a picture from your computer. So sketch picture. I'm going to go to my desktop. I have my car body pictures. So let's go ahead and insert my beamer top. Click open. Okay. So what I'll do now, I'll basically resize the car so it fits within that parameter. So I'm just going to scale it down. And I'm going to rotate it. So I believe -90 from around this point. Yep. And I'm going to try and locate it. So let me take this out. So you see that it does not have an equal distance on both sides. So just, it probably is easier to align it if it was an equal distance. You can try to get it around the center. But since we don't have it, we'll just try to align it as best as we can. So I want my outline. Let's go ahead and do that. And you can use your best judgment to do this step. And I want equal distance, right, from both sides. So I'm just going to move it a bit to the left. So that looks good. Oops. Then you can keep playing with this to try and get it as perfect as possible. It looks pretty good so far. Maybe slide it over a bit to the right. Try to get as equal of a distance as possible. Maybe a bit more. And that looks good. So I'm done with my first sketch. So let's go ahead and click OK. So I have my first sketch, which is my top plane. And before I insert my second, which is my front, I just want to define where the car body ended on the top plane. So I'm going to go to my front plane. So let me exit the sketch. Go ahead to my front plane, start a sketch. I want some vertical lines. With respect to the center, that's why I use those construction lines in the beginning. I'm just going to go up. You can get it to where the center is. I'm just going to copy this line. I'm going to do the same thing here. Oops. So just let's coincident to the line and place it around the center. Okay. So I have my two guidelines for the front sketch. Let's go ahead and import that picture. Again, we go back to Tools, Sketch Tools, Sketch Picture, and let's do Beamer Side. Okay. Again, let's scale it down. I'm just going to go to my front view, view orientation, go to front, and try to align this as best as possible. You can leave it around there. Right, so I want my tire, so the body right here. Slide that over a bit. And depending on where you want this to end, I'm just gonna go a bit smaller. So I have that. So my lowest point here. So let me rotate. So as you can see, these align. Oops. Space. Go back to my front view. And let's hit OK. So the only thing I have left is it's basically the front or the right profile. So I'm going to go to my right plane and I'm just going to sketch an outline where I want that to end. Again, using the guides we created. Create one here. Create another one here. Making sure your vertical relations are on. Just gonna go in. Let's move that over so it's in the center. Okay. So let's go to my right plane. And let's insert that sketch. So let's go to Tools, Sketch Tools, Sketch Picture. And I'm just going to go to my beamer front. Again, scale it down. And slide it over. And I want these to on the same level. In the center. Let's see, let's move this out a bit. So sorry. Right here. A bit bigger. And all I'm doing is hitting space and going back to my right plane to try and align this better. Let's go ahead. So that looks pretty good. You can play with it, try and get it closer, but I'm fine with the way it is right now. Again, you can go back and double check everything. So I'm just gonna rotate around and make sure my overall profile is good. So looks pretty good. It looks pretty good here. Looks good here. Okay. And we're all set with the first video.